Welcome back to the show, everybody. That old PlayStation classic. Yep, I had questions when we previously took a look at the reveal trailer about what could be in this thing, and when we got the reveal of the initial 5, trying to wonder like what the rest was going to be has been a question for the streets for months. Given, however, previously on this show of when these things come out, the games that come out vary by region, whether it's because of that game was more popular than one place or another, or a licensed rights to this or that. So I figured we would take a look at the US, the Japanese, and the European fare for this triple threat. Triple threat, you hear me? 1, 2, 3, you can count right. Triple threat of trying to see what's up with this PlayStation Classic. So, if you guys ready, then so am I. So, what is it that we usually do around this time? Oh, I remember. Bring me super duper motherfucking magic box! There. Here. Like right there. Super duper motherfucking magic box. So, if y'all ready, I'm ready. Let's put in this work. So, now activating PlayStation Classic.exe. Alright, this is the US one. So, got Grand Theft Auto. I don't think it's gonna have London 1969. The first Battle Arena Toshinden. Okay, Type 4. Okay, I'm with you. Mr. Driller. Okay, MGS1. Okay, I'm with you. I'm with you on this so far. The first Twisted Metal. Okay. Okay, Abe's Odyssey, even though we got HD remakes of this game. The first Siphon Filter. The first Rayman. Okay. Tekken 3. Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six. The first Wild Arms. Jumping Flash. Cool Borders 2. Final Fantasy 7. Destruction Derby. The first Persona game, Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo, IQ, the director's cut of Resident Evil. So, I've got a couple of questions already. Why not the second Twisted Metal, which is way better? Is Resident Evil director's cut going to actually be uncensored? Why not Battle Arena Toshinden 2 Plus, which is a way better game, but it's Japanese? You know, I'd have went Ridge Racer 1. So let's see what's different in the Japanese one. So they start off with Final Fantasy 7. Okay. So they still put in the first Toshinden, Type 4. Mr. Dealer. Metal Gear Solid. Okay. Okay, that's Wild On. So they get G Darius. I'm trying to think what that was the second Wild On. They get the Gradius Gotten. They get Parasite Eve. They get Devil Dice. Okay, they also get Persona. IQ. Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo. They get Armored Core. They get Wild On, so I don't know what those other two RPGs is. They get Jumping Flash. We probably gonna have to Google Chrome this. Tekken 3. The director's cut to Resident Evil, even though they technically didn't get that game in Japanese. So they get G Darius. That's kinda weird. We're gonna have to take a look at that list one more time. We probably gonna have to pull up that list. So here's the European version of it. So I think one of those games might have been Saga 2. I think one of those games might have been Saga 2. Give a look at it, but okay. So we're mirroring the US one pretty closely so far here. I got a feeling they gonna get a soccer game. I got a feeling soccer is about to happen. Probably since they got Konami games that they might get like a ISS game or something, maybe. If there is something different about this compared to the Japanese version. Okay. Okay, so yeah, this is gonna so the European and the American version gonna pretty much the same. And through all of this, I've been wanting to say the only pick out of the original 5 other than I agree with is Cool Borders 2. Cool Borders 2 is best Cool Borders. So just putting that out there, just so you know, the internet. Let me see. You would think that the European version would have something different in it. You would think. But yeah, here we are. Alrighty. So, those are trailers. We got those. So, let me make this disappear. Let me see, because I need to figure out alrighty, so let's welcome a dear old friend back to the show. Google motherfucking Chrome. This is Google motherfucking Chrome, and this was me searching for the PlayStation Classic Europe trailer. So, let us play a game. PlayStation Classic games listed Japan. So, let's see what we got here. Maybe the wiki has been updated since this trailer just came out like 20 minutes ago. Okay. This ain't even updated yet. So, if the thing's been just revealed, I probably should have just done the smart thing. Of just do any time within the past hour. So, let's see. We'll go Eurogamer since they the first, but let's see. Nope. Okay, so both of those RPGs I saw were Ark of the Lad, which is part of their Resident Devil Garden. Okay, it was a soccer game that I saw. G. Darius. And everything else is what it is. So, given this list, it sucks we don't get Devil Dice because that game's amazing, and so is its PS2 sequel, which you should play by the fucking way. Ark the Lad, great RPG. Surprising we're not getting that. It's kind of that the PS1 class in Japan gets Gradius Gaiden, but you know what? I'm just gonna say it. If it were me, it would have been a game called Salamander because Salamander is greater than Gradius. So yeah. Given all this information, it's like, given that it's kind of weak. It's kind of weak, given that I don't know. But you can bring it back to me for now. You can bring it back to me. I'm glad we were able to get those answers. Those answers are important. So, where are we in this? Let me see. I'm like, given that, you know, because we ain't gonna get out of here without it, is that I'm with most of it. Like, it's nice that Japan gets G. Darius. You deserve it. You deserve it. Again, let me say this, facing in front of you. Salamander, greater. Okay, because it's this. So it'd be Salamander greater than Gradius hold fucking L's. Okay. Just impart that upon you. I think at the end of the day, Mr. Driller is a weird pick. Like there are a whole bunch of things you could have done with your puzzle game that you chose that wasn't Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo, but at least they got IQ. I'm surprised this doesn't have like Hot Shots Golf on it. I'm like, there are just some things you can't do. Like, actually, I'm looking at it. Give me a second. Give me a second here, internet. I'm just gonna hit y'all to some shit. Okay, I'm back. Okay, so just so you know that if I'm gonna pick a game that should be in a PlayStation Classic, it's this game. Bust the Move 2 Dance Tengoku Mix, baby. Classic video game, but you would think, Square Enix things, but it's like, I don't know. It's like, I really think that there was and there is legitimate room for games like that. I don't know. I'm just like, they get both Arc the Lag games. I'm like, I'm surprised this doesn't have a Star Ocean on it. Well, actually, I kind of am at the same time, because at least looking at the Japanese list, I really thought that it would have been a little more diversified in its list between A and B. But like I said, I still got the list in front of me. Like, they get Parasite Eve 1, and I'm like, it sucks we don't get that, but we get Rayman, and I'm like, okay. I'm like, the answer to that question was Tomba, but that's just me, right? Like, that's just me. That's just me, the person that I get Rayman, but Tomba would have been better. Like, given what Tomba wanted to represent, but you probably couldn't get the rights to that, and I don't know. So, I don't know. Because I'm like, for some reason, like, I want to play Bombastic right now. That's the sequel to Devil Dice, like on PS2. Like, if you haven't played Bombastic, you should. It's like there are differences between the Japanese and American versions that you release because of, but you should play both of them just so you get that full hit. I'm going to go back to the list one more time real quick, because I'm going to just take a look at it before we get up out of here, because I'm looking at this and I'm just staring at this, and it's like, if you get one fighting game, well, again, I said this earlier, Toshinda 2 Plus over the original Battle Arena Toshinda, even though Uncle Triple understands why Battle Arena Toshinda is a game you feature. It was a launch title. It was a title that literally could show what the PS1 could do from the jump and what you could think you could do. That as much respect as I know Battle Arena Toshinden deserves, is that it doesn't get it. It's like, Battle Arena Toshinden 2 Plus is probably one of the best fighting games ever, because it just is. But no one really knows that Battle Arena Toshinden 2 had a second version that made a great game better. So there's that. Again, Cool Borders 2, probably the Cool Borders you'd want to choose. If you had an alternative, I would have went with Jet Moto 2. Probably replace Destruction Derby with Jet Moto 2. Final Fantasy VII, yeah. Grand Theft Auto, is it gonna have the additional 1969 content? I don't believe so. So I don't really know why Grand Theft Auto 1 is a thing. That was more of a PC game than it was a PS1 game, I should say. In the instance that Grand Theft Auto didn't become big for consoles until Grand Theft Auto 3 came out on PS2. And then if you wanted to play Grand Theft Auto 2, you play that either on a PC, or if you had to play it on a console, a Sega Dreamcast. So there's that. Intelligent Cube, most definitely. Jumping Flash, like 1 and 2 should have been on here. Like, you could get more than 20 games. Jumping Flash, it should have been both. Metal Gear Solid. Now, is this the US version, given that it's also in the European version, which came out a little later? Is it based off the European version? Metal Gear Solid in Europe have a strange love of something, but we won't get into that. Mr. Driller, I'm like, again, you could have. I'm like, I think that given Mr. Driller is in here and is also in the thing, is that we should probably. I'm like, I guess, yeah, you know what? I guess in this Mr. Driller can stay because I'm trying to really figure, like, maybe you get Tetris Plus, but that was on other systems too. I'm really thinking like games like it that you would put in its place, but I'm not sure. I get why iWorld is in the US and European, especially in the US version, given what iWorld did for the PS1 early on. It's like Rayman, I don't know, if you gotta get a mascot, because it wasn't no way in hell Activision was gonna give you Spyro or give you Crash, even though that we right now got the Spyro joint coming out and we already got the insane trilogy out in the streets. So on top of that, let's just get the rabbit out the hat and the big giant pixelated boob elephant in the room. This one gonna have a Tomb Raider on it. So there's that. So eliminate all that. You know what I'm saying? Just do that. I said this earlier while we were looking at the video. Resident Evil Director's Cut. Is it really going to actually be the version of the game we actually should have got? And given this most important thing, that because of how PS1 classics were released on PS3 and PS Vita, the answer is no. So it technically isn't Resident Evil Director's Cut. It's Resident Evil sort of Director's Cut. So there's that. The first Persona. I don't understand why this is the RPG you chose, because Sony has an RPG. It's called The Legend of Dragoon. See, Persona doesn't become really important to what this system is defined of and is until a game called Persona 3. So I don't really get why this is a thing. Like, I understand it because of the deals you have to make, but that should have been Legend of Dragoon spot, regardless of how much I love Darkness Squadron, you know what I'm saying, Shayna's boo. The game has aged well as milk that sat out. It is a great game somewhere in there, but even I know that Legend of Dragoon, like, if you want to do something with it, is that the game needs some help, and there are a couple of hacks that try to help and try to uneasify the things that were wrong with it, but then at the same time, given that this is a package like this, that you wouldn't do the extra work that matters, mainly making a pocket station work with it, even though no other things work with it, but that's just me talking. We should play The Legend of Dragoon. It was one of the things I've always planned to do on this channel, but just haven't got around to it yet. One of the few things about either list that I agree with is Ridge Racer Type 4. Ridge Racer Type 4 is probably the best racing game on the PlayStation. In general, period. You can't really argue with that. Like, it would have been nice to also have at least the original Ridge Racer as part of that, like, that small list of, like, launch games. But Battle Arena Toshinden really covers your historic moment of PS1, so you don't really need it. But Type 4 is one of the best in the business. I'm like, it would be nice if some way they were able to get the updated version of Ridge Racer and slap that in there like some bonus thing, but I highly doubt they're going to do the work. Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo, I don't know why this is on here. I don't. I'm looking at this list right now and I have no idea why this is on here. Like, again, I just showed you a video game. You guys remember this? This game right here. Great dance battle action, bitch. Why is Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo on here? I don't know. I'm like, there are better ways to play this game. Mainly on a Dreamcast. Mainly if you're down with HD graphics, the HD remix of this version. But why the PS1 version? I don't know. I don't. Siphon Filter. That also makes sense. Given that, they wanted to try to, get out the American version of it, that Siphon Filter. Yeah, Siphon Filter gets better than goes down a hill at some point, but if you really want to show like what they were really trying to do, especially the whole time where everybody's trying to chase that Metal Gear Solid money, Siphon Filter, a great game regardless. If you don't pick a Tekken 3, that makes sense. However, and this is the thing, Tekken 3 is not going to be a fully featured version of Tekken 3. I don't know, given this collection, if Sony's actually going to legitimately do the work to make that mode where you put a Tekken disc in there to make it work as a thing. They could probably do some technical wizardry, but they wouldn't do that for it to be released as a PS1 classic. So expecting it now would be foolish, but it'd be cool when I buy this thing at some point that I can actually access that mode and look at all those endings, even though that's something you can now do in Tekken Tag Tournament 2 and in Tekken 7. So, Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six. I don't know why this is here. I should, but this game is important for a reason that maybe Uncle Triple don't understand. So, man, we just gonna go with that. No, I got you. Nah, we just gonna do that because I don't know. Twisted Metal should have been Twisted Metal 2. I love Twisted Metal 3 and 4, but this should have been Twisted Metal 2. Why this is Twisted Metal 1, I have no idea. And given just that I randomly thought about that, you can no longer play the PS Pro version online, along with a whole bunch of other games Sony just shut down 3 weeks early because Sony says, you. But, hey, it is what it is. Wild Arms. Given that it is Wild Arms, if you're going to choose an RPG that's not The Legend of Dragoon and maybe not Star Ocean possibly, because we really should have got that Vita remake, but hey, whatever. Wild Arms seems like the best choice, given the options that you have that you could probably barter for, I guess. So, Wild Arms seems like the best choice. Probably later Wild Arms, and you can play those remakes on Vita or whatever. So, there's that. Looking at the PlayStation list, Octolad 1 and 2, given what those games mean for Japanese, for JRPGs in general, I see that. Armored Core also makes sense. And in other news, just in case you forgot, there's a remake of a HD sexy remaster of Metal Wolf Chaos coming out really soon. Didn't know those two games were related, didn't you? Now you do. Let's see. We talked about IQ earlier, that puzzle games, yeah. Greatest Guide, and I talked about that. You know, Salamander, Great and Great. Do I need to write it again on the screen for you? Probably not. Devil Dice. Makes sense given is that you probably could have chosen something different here, but I'm like, that should be on the US one too. That Devil Dice is a great game that not a lot of people got to experience, so it makes sense. Saga Frontier, if you're going to get your second Square RPG in there, yeah, you get Saga Frontier. You do that. G Darius, that was a weird talk with Square Enix. That had to be. Because somebody had to negotiate title rights for this to happen. So, yeah. That's the only reason why that's on her. And you probably didn't have any idea that Square actually owns that video game. But now you do. We talked about Super Brother Fighter 2 Turbo, Battle Rita Toshinden, Resident Evil that's not going to actually be the thing. Parasite Eve, this weird outlier and all this, that should have been on the American Collection too. Like one of the best RPGs in the business. I love it. It's a great game with its flaws, but love it. Mr. Driller Persona and Metal Gear Solid. So, here we is right now in this world of that this thing exists with these games, and I can't wait for somebody to hack this thing wide open, because this is probably going to be the best emulation machine on the market. The best emulation machine on the market, for real. Like, short of getting a souped up Raspberry Pi, that you can get a real emulation machine like a PS1 and actually do things with it. There's actually a thing that you can hook to an old throwback PS1 that lets you play Game Boy games semi-good. You know what I'm saying? So, it is what it is. It's like, it's other games that I love that I knew would never be a part of this collection, which I should play on this channel. But, you know, it is what it is with that. So, if you enjoy any of those games, it's like, you know, it's cool, you know what I'm saying? But I just think that I had the same issue with the Neo Geo Mini of y'all choosing to split these games up between territories. I was still legitimately surprised that Europe didn't get like an exclusive soccer game. I was like legitimately surprised that with all the Konami on here that they didn't get an international superstar game. I'm just kind of floored by that, and I'm like, I'm not trying to be a nationalist or anything of any kind, but it kind of surprised me no soccer game. I was kind of surprised me in general that there were no sports games. That the original Hot Shots Golf isn't on here. Well, you think they would get part 2, but the original Hot Shots Golf is pretty cool. I want to get a chance to sit down and play that along with playing everybody's golf and things like that. But regardless of all of this, okay, I'm with you. That's perfectly okay, or something. Regardless of that, we've got more show for you. I think you guys know the drill, so fingers ready. Sit back, relax, stay tuned. You know I am the one and on Triple the GLT, aka yo Uncle Triple, and we got more show for you. The squadron already got what you need, so all I ask is politely in general that you please join us after these commercial messages. Still the best evil laugh in the business. This thing is pretty okay. That's like, you know, it is what it is. Oh, wait, I'm looking over here. We ain't done yet. One more thing. I'm finna get up again because I don't care. Just to show y'all how, like, I don't think the streets believe that Uncle Triple as legit as he say about the thing he talk about. You know what that is? We get that closer for your ass just so you can fucking see that before we go to a commercial break. That's Battle Arena Toshinden 2 Plus, bitch. Just so your ass know. I walk it like I talk it. I thought you knew. One of the best fighting games in the business. Triple the God approved. With all of that being said, we got more show for you right after these commercial messages.